Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We'll give you that key word to get to Glass Animals in Nashville, a VIP trip. About 5 minutes away, because first we have to talk about what happened with Justin Timberlake over the weekend. So last week we talked about, of course, him getting a DUI. You know that story. And he was arrested. Now, his first show after being arrested happened to be here in Chicago at the United Center on Friday night. Actually, there was 2 sold-out shows, right? Man,
There were, but the first show was on Friday.
Yeah. So it's the first time ever addressing it. He gets arrested, he gets released, and he hasn't talked about it. So here's the actual audio from the United Center on Friday night with Justin Timberlake, the first time addressing what happened to him.
We've been together through ups and downs and lefts and rights. It's been a tough week. But you're here, and I'm here, and nothing can change this moment.
Before I continue, why'd they all cheer when he said it's been a tough week?
Well, he did a classic, like, dumb, faux intellectual statement where he not only went through ups and downs, he went through lefts and rights, which is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, he did get pulled over for kind of veering off the lane after a stop sign.
I guess he was going left and right quite a bit.
It just seemed funny.
He did have a tough week. They were like, we saw.
Yeah.
They're just responding. That
just
was
like-
not a good week.
But
Where's the lie?
I don't know.
I think a golf clap would have been more appropriate than hooting and hollering.
Yeah, they're like, amen, me too. You know? I feel it.
I
feel it.
had a cousin that got a DUI, and he came in the room, and I didn't clap.
But if you would have said, man, it's been a tough week, you'd have been like, yep.
Yeah.
You would have agreed.
I just cheering. Listen to the volume of cheers when it's been a tough week.
It's been a tough week. But you're here,
Is this not what I said was going to happen?
Well, clearly,
They're not consoling him. They're agreeing.
let's. I don't know if agreeing with cheers and claps is appropriate.
Are you supposed to shake his hand? What are you supposed to do?
Nothing. It just we'll listen to him.
you're here, and I'm here, and nothing can change this moment right now. I know sometimes I'm hard to love, but you keep on loving me, and I love you right back. Thank you so much.
All right, he loves
I
him.
feel like he's owning it. He's like, I'm hard to love. It's been a bad week. He's not brushing anything under the rug.
Well, he didn't say he got a DUI.
Well, maybe more than one tough thing happened. Are you going to list all of it?
I think the one thing is, I don't think it was because he burned his pancakes in the morning.
I bet you $1 million more tough things happened after his wife found out he got a DUI. I'm sure not just one tough thing happened.
It's funny because he never heard anything arise with that part of it.
With Jessica Biel?
With Jessica Biel, this situation. And listen, again, a lot of people, you make mistakes, trust me. I understand that part of it. But when you're this high profile and it happens, it is funny just to see how he worked it into this intro of a song, nice piano playing there. And knew it was good. We knew people were going to cheer when he came out there and did that, and that's what they did. And he went on with the show and apparently put on a pretty damn good show, as he usually does. But some other developments have happened since then. The story was that the cop didn't know who he was. He was so young that when he arrested him, Justin Timberlake, under his breath, said, "Oh, man, this is going to ruin the tour." And the cop said, "What tour?" And he said, "The world tour." Oh, that's great.
Well, that cop had to just be like, okie doke.
Yeah.
You've obviously
All right.
drank quite more than I even initially thought, sir.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Brian, I've never had a drop of alcohol in my life, but have you been so drunk that you thought you were going to go on a world tour at some point?
100%.
Have you ever accepted an award in the shower? I have.
Yep, 100%. 100%. There's certain kinds of Jägermeister and a certain mixture at the right moment when you think you're going on a world tour.
Well, certain drinks make you realize the star power that you actually possess.
Yeah.
The pizzazz that's actually within.
I'll tell you, vodka can do that to me, too.
Is that right?
Way too many John Daly's, which is an Arnold Palmer with vodka in it. A lemonade, iced tea mixture. You add vodka, that's a John Daly. And you have too many of those. And, yeah, vodka for me also makes me think I'm a different person at times, if I have enough.
What person do you think you are when you drink it?
The one that's going on a world tour.
Yeah.
John Daly?
You turned into Freddie Mercury all of a sudden?
I think it's great that cop was just kind of like, I probably went back to his car, like Kenzie said, it was like, Hey, Tommy, check it out. This guy thinks he's going on a world tour.
You'll never believe this loser.
He just
He's moonwalking right now.
You idiot. Spinning around the cell. Relax.
He just ran a stop sign. He thinks he's on a world tour.
So a lot of information has come out about this cop. This is a very interesting situation where the town of Sag Harbor, which is where Justin Timberlake was arrested, they have spoken out against police officer Michael Arkinson is his name. And again, he's a cop in Sag Harbor, which is relevant because right now, stories are coming out from the town, and they have given this guy 2 different nicknames, claiming that he is over-policing the area and specifically enforcing traffic laws too harshly. The 2 nicknames he has are, quote, Little Red-Headed Dip-S, Dip Bleep, if you will, because he is a ginger. He does have red hair. The other nickname that has been bestowed upon him by the town of Sag Harbor, again, for the strict enforcement of traffic laws, including arresting Justin Timberlake, is that he is now known as, quote, the Sag Harbor Nazi. For all of the strict traffic laws that he has enforced, this town is not having it. With there's been numerous complaints that he's been pulling over people for talking on their cell phone while driving, that he's been writing tickets for people pulling illegal U-turns, and now the whole town. And again, this is bizarre because Justin Timberlake was driving under the influence, allegedly. They have now banded together and have said, no, the cop is wrong, not Justin Timberlake.
God.
Was one of the complaints from Justin Timberlake. This guy's a Nazi.
Oh,
I
God.
thought I was famous enough to get away with this. What the hell?
Yeah, this guy is really strict about the whole alcohol thing while driving.
Yeah.
Well, I swerve into oncoming traffic once. All of a sudden, I'm a bad guy.
Good Lord, who doesn't?
Oh, come on. If I had a nickel.
Everyone's perfect, apparently.
And by the way, I like my red hair. I'm not a dip-ass for having red hair.
Oh,
Jeez.
man. It's only going to get worse for that cop because now this is, an incredibly high-profile arrest where not only has he been memed with the whole world tour comment, but again, the whole town is after him. Rich people don't like being told to follow traffic laws.
Well, also...
Well, what's the point of being rich if you have to follow all these rules?
Hey, listen.
They're better than us.
I got the first ticket in Chicago for talking on my cell phone and driving. That's my claim to fame.
You were number 1?
I was number 1.
Ground zero.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
I was on Belmont, and I was talking on my phone. The law had just passed.
What was the phone? What kind of cell phone?
Oh, it
Like
was...
a brick.
It was...
I can't even imagine the size of it.
Yeah.
They could see that effing thing from across the city.
I had the satellite dish on the back hood of the car.
Well, you were in the West Loop, and they
Yeah.
were in the South Loop, and they pull them over.
I will tell you, a cop just like the Sag Harbor Nazi, he literally flipped around on Belmont, which you can't do very easily.
No.
He did like a fishtail to come after me, and I went, boy, something must really be wrong up here.
Yeah, because turning around on Belmont, it's like in the Austin Powers movie when he's trying to turn the cart around and he's stuck in between the 2 walls. That's what doing a U-turn for me on Belmont would be like.
Yes. And then I realized he was coming for me. I thought there was like a murder somewhere. And I was like, oh, my God. So I took the cell phone, which, by the way, was a Sprint Instinct, if you remember that phone. It was the pre-iPhone one that didn't.
Let's look up the size of this thing.
It's not that big, actually. It was pretty nice handheld. The Sprint Instinct. You see a picture of it there? And I threw it. As soon as I saw him coming from behind me, I threw it I almost threw it out the window. I tried to go
I
out
was going to say out of the car?
I tried to throw out
like
the window.
Like it's a hot weapon? Why would you do that?
It hit the glass. Thank God it hit the window and landed on the floor. And
Your window was up. You threw it at the window and it was up?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just throw it on the floor to begin with?
I
set it down.
I panicked, and he pulled me over. He goes, "You know why I pulled you over?" And I go, "I assume it's for talking on the cell phone." He goes, "Yep. Congratulations, you're the first ticket in Chicago for this."
Oh my gosh, Brian, why did you... First off, this is a woman's trick. Don't fall for that. When somebody asks you
Why you pulled over?
question about like, do you know why I'm mad? Or do you know what I may have saw in your phone?
Yeah.
Do you know... They're just setting you out to be like, yeah, I was talking to that girl. It's like, I knew it, you son of a bitch. You're like, what? You should have been like, I wasn't on my phone.
Well,
There's no camera. There's nothing.
He did a fishtail in the middle of Belmont. He saw something.
He missaw. Your seatbelt super big and bulky.
Seatbelt's big.
Why? Like, what is wrong with you? Why would you just be like, it was me?
So the buckle in my seatbelt was on my face.
Listen,
Yeah.
never murder anybody, okay?
Well, that's a good lesson right
Just
there.
don't do it. I'm going to be doing the show by myself and be pissed.
It was a $198 ticket.
Ooh.
That was the
Yikes.
first
that
ticket.
seems, you could have talked him down.
No, I don't think that would have
Like,
worked.
since it's like a brand new law, can't I get off with a warning?
I actually said that. That's the first one. How about a little warning here? And he's like, no.
No, you were swerving all over the road.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, he fishtailed. He needed that quota. He needed that ticket filled today.
By the way, isn't it the worst when you're driving and sirens light up behind you and you think like, oh, I wonder who's in trouble now, and then you realize, oh no, it's me.
The worst. The worst is when you get out of the way and they follow you. You're like, oh my God, your stomach just hits the floor.
Like you pulled aside to be a courteous person,
Yeah, like,
and then they
let me
stop
get out of the way
behind
of
you.
these lawbreaker, help them out.
God.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, and I promised the Glass Animals keyword for your chance to go see them in Nashville VIP style. That keyword is glass. So text glass to a different text number than usual, 95819. So text glass to 95819 right now for your chance to win this incredible package of going to Nashville and VIP style. You're taken care of. You got merch, everything. Couple days there in a hotel, round trip air. So glass to 95819. Text that right now. Also, coming in on text line, as I told my story about getting the ticket in Chicago, the first one ever for talking on the phone. Kristen checked in from 847. I got a ticket in Chicago for, quote, misuse of my horn. I was found guilty when I went to court. The cop lied on the stand.
Well, what'd she use it for?
We need to know more of the story. That's all I got
What'd
so
you use
far.
your horn for?
I don't know. Honking?
Thank you, Brian. That's what I meant.
Oh, put it on the board. You are correct.
I just want to know what she honked at. And
Maybe
Kristen,
she honked for fun, like saw friends. It's like, that's for, safety hazards.
there's nothing more fun than honking at friends. Hey,
And see, that would be sexist to me because the amount of men who honk at women because I don't know what they think we're going to jump on the back of their vehicle and ride with them. You think the ticket would go to them and not a girl?
Don't you think one woman had to do that to make it continue to
No.
this day?
I don't think any woman's like, thank God you told me. Let me get in.
There had to be one woman that did it. So maybe it was
No.
40 years ago that someone honked and they got in the car.
I don't
because
think so.
otherwise, why would men continue to
Maybe
honk
if it
at
was
women?
their husband and they're like, we're here, I'm here.
It's just like legendary story. Remember that back in Des Plaines in '74. This guy named Marty honked at a woman and she got in the car. So we should all continue to keep doing it and see what happens.
That's a made-up story from a man, just so you know.
No, I want to know
swear,
the
bro.
first man who did it, the trailblazer that was like, you know what I should do? I should honk at women today.
Can I just say on behalf of women, it's so annoying because it's scary. I jump every time. And it's like, I drop something. It's like, this is counterproductive. If you pulled over and talked to me, you would have a better chance than I'm now terrified, or I lost my sandwich, or my phone. This sucks.
I picture Kenzie throwing her sandwich in the air when
Damn
someone was honking.
It looks like a high school graduation where everybody throws their caps in the air.
Sucks.
Her poor sub sandwich
That's
goes
right.
flying, all the lettuce everywhere. That's not good.
You know, cars have only existed for 100 years. We could figure out the first guy to honk at a lady pretty easily. That feels like research that's got to be out there.
Maybe it was Brian because he was the first guy to get a ticket for using his phone while driving.
I certainly am a pioneer in a lot of ways.
He had one of those like old long cars, like meh, meh, like a boat horn.
Is he driving a steamboat?
Actually, my Chevelle had an Auga horn in it.
Oh yeah,
It was so loud. My brother Steve put it in. It was like, Auga.
that's like a cartoon.
Your sub would have went over the building if I honked at you when you had that thing.
It's just upsetting.
All right, more in music news. We were just talking about the audio from Chicago United Center with Justin Timberlake, but Dave Grohl made some news over the weekend. So
The Grohlsters.
So Taylor Swift was playing Wembley Stadium, and Dave Grohl was playing the London Stadium right nearby. And this audio comes from his show on Saturday, and here it is.
I'm telling you, man, you don't want to suffer the wrath of Taylor Swift. So we like to call our tour the Errors Tour.
So Taylor Swift's tour is called the Eras. He said, we call our tour the Errors Tour.
That's funny.
We've had more than a few eras, and more than a few errors as well. That's because we actually play live. What? Man, you guys like live rock and roll music, right? We came to the right place.
You like rock and roll, you came to the right place. Yes, Dave, indeed.
I feel like he's making fun of himself more. Like he was saying, like we call it the errors, and because we play like I feel like it was just a joke.
I think it was too, because he's not known for being that kind of guy. Like he actually has complimented Taylor Swift a lot in the past.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And it's, there's people that have taken shots, of course, like real shots and all that. I don't know. But he goes like, what? Because he knew he said something. What?
I think he's just totally like teasing.
But
I don't know. That doesn't bother me.
Well, Case said something interesting. He did a little deeper dive on this. And what'd you say about there's possibly some reason Dave did that?
Well, there's beef between the Dave Grohl family and Taylor Swift because his daughter, Violet, who is an aspiring musician, she called out Taylor Swift on Twitter for her excessive use of private jets, which is absolutely extreme. She flies everywhere, no matter how close it is. And Taylor Swift fans, as they're prone to do, when she called out Taylor Swift, started attacking her on social media. So this was a few months ago, and ever since then, there's been a rift between the Grohls and the Swifts.
So a real one, you think, or just because the fan base came after her? Like they can be mean, those Swifties.
Yeah, like here's the thing though. That's not right for the Grohls and the Swifts to not get along. I feel like it's like the Montagues and the Capulets over here. It's not right for them to not get along. Like that's the fan base arguing. Taylor Swift wasn't like, keep my name out your mouth, but like, she didn't Will Smith her.
Well, she gets very sensitive when people call her out about her private jet usage. I still believe the conspiracy that she showed up to the Jets-Chiefs game last year so that when people Google Taylor Swift jet, it shows her at the Jets game and not her excessive use of a private plane.
That's pretty funny.
I believe it's the same reason that Disney made the movie Frozen, because when people searched Walt Disney Frozen, they would talk about how they've frozen Walt Disney's head after he died. Now they made a movie called Frozen, so that doesn't appear in the Google search.
You're way too far down a rabbit hole.
Dude. did you drop some acid this weekend? That's
nuts.
First off, Case, you've sold me.
I know. Look,
I'm on board.
It's one of the many things I'm right about.
She went to 1 million games. It wasn't the only game she went to.
Yeah,
she went to like all of them.
There's a reason she went to the Jets game.
Okay, and the rest of them were because she loved him, and then that one wasn't.
They were pretty new at that point. I don't think there was love in the air just yet.
But the Jets searches though push the Jets down the and then the frozen head. Dude, you've sold me on this one.
This is way too much thought. No one's put this much thought into it. No one cares.
You don't think the Disney Corporation's putting thought into their Google searches?
Why would they care? Listen, Disney has a lot of other things to worry about besides the frozen head. They need to make a movie called Racism then, because if they're worried about hiding things with Walt Disney, the frozen head, not a massive concern.
Also, the frozen head is awesome. I want to learn more about it.
I
agree.
It's not a bad thing, no.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Johnny, gone too soon. Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So during that very deep, dark song, Kenzie and I were here in the studio discussing when you go out to dinner, and we thought it'd bring it to the air to discuss it openly more with you guys at 312-591-8300 to see if you experience this and how you experience it when you go to dinner with either other family members or other couples. And do you want to describe, Kenzie, the situation that you're curious about? Because I'm sitting here now thinking, if we talked about this,
Right.
if I don't know what happens, just subconsciously, I just move on and don't think about it after we eat dinner.
Because you're the guy. So I was wondering if
I
this
am-
happens.
I am the guy,
You're the guy
but-
in the relationship. And I was wondering if this happens to you, and maybe you don't even notice it because you're the guy in this scenario.
Maybe I don't.
So every time my husband and I go out with friends or family or whatever, and we pick up the tab, right?
Right.
Now, naturally, he's kind of the one who like grabs the wallet, but like obviously we have a combined account. I do financially contribute. I have a job, as you can hear. I'm not volunteering.
Just in case you didn't hear that, Kenzie's got a job.
I do.
Interesting.
I'm not volunteering my time.
I didn't know they let people like her do that now.
Yeah,
You know.
Amen. We've come a long way. But every time, like, it's paid, they go, thank you, Roman, family, friends. And I'm like, I could get it if we were dating. Because you probably think maybe our money was, some people combine their money early and some people don't. So that's a harder situation. You may think it's separate.
Yeah.
But being a married couple, even if we don't have our money combined, you're sharing your money, which we do. But it's still like, this is how you're deciding to spend your money. And I just think it's so weird. And I asked my mom about it. I go, hey, when you guys go out, you and dad, and you pick up the tab for family or friends or whatever, when you feel the need to do that, it's Mother's Day or something like that, I go, Do you both get thanked? And she goes, well, you're describing my life for 15 years with my mother-in-law.
Oh, boy.
I guess that she's always like, thank you, Troy, to my dad, and never says anything to my mom. My mom, like, also works. Now, it's wrong to view a family if one of them is a stay-at-home parent and think, like, well, it's the other person's money. I think that's wrong. It's still their money. They're raising the kid. That is their job. They're allowing them to work. That's wrong. But some people do view it as that. So I suppose if that's their viewpoint, and they're just thanking them, that's wrong. But especially in this scenario, because like you also know that I am physically putting money in. So if you have that skewed idea, that's still not applicable. And it's very weird to me.
I'm still trying to rack my brain, and maybe Case can help out. That I don't think when we've gone out to dinner and we pick it up, that I get specifically thanked over Megan. And we share money too. We didn't do it even at the beginning of the marriage for a while. Then we put it together, and I'm like,
yeah.
I know couples that have been married for 10 years and they have not combined their money and they still have separate everything. In fact, when they go to dinner, this might be a little bit extreme, a little bit. They will say, "Hey, you owe me, 50 on Venmo."
That's odd.
They Venmo the money back and forth to each other, and they're married 10 years.
Okay, now if you see me doing that and you only thank him for dinner, I get it. But it's very frustrating because we've tried to take people out as like a gift or a celebration or for a birthday, and like you're treating them, and then it's like, oh, Roman's the sweetest. Oh my gosh, Roman, you're so kind.
Oh boy,
Roman, thank you I can't believe you took care of us. And I'm just sitting there like, it was a gift from. Are you looking at me like now I didn't get you anything?
Yeah.
Like what? It's just
like Kenzie,
weird.
why didn't you get us anything? That's what I said.
Allegedly, you have a job. Why didn't you get us anything?
Allegedly.
It's just ass. Like, I don't know why this happens. And my mom said it happened to her whole life. And it's like, it's kind of crap. Like, if I went out with a couple, we have before, and they pick up the tab, I'm always like, oh my gosh, thank you guys. Because, like, obviously, it's more than one person's money. It's not just who holds the credit card. What am I supposed to also throw mine down? It's just the same
I think
number?
you have to start doing that or make sure it's clear. In case when you go out, first off, have you ever bought any dinner for anybody else?
Have I bought? Yes, I've bought dinner for other people.
Or lunch. Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
What am I, Oscar the Grouch? No, I've had a good year. I like to share the wealth.
All right. So what? Have you ever been thanked and then your girl has not been thanked, but you guys don't share money yet because you're not married?
But they don't share money.
Yeah, that's true.
She doesn't have any money. They better
Whoa.
be. They
Damn,
better
okay,
be
that was.
Well,
you didn't need to volunteer that information. We're talking about that, and you're like, well, she's a broke bitch. Jeez.
She's in grad school. She has no money. They better be thanking me when I lay down my card.
But that's fair, because when I was dating my husband, if you picked it up, I would never expect to be thanked.
Yeah.
But like,
also, you better be careful because she's in grad school and she will be making more than you soon.
God willing.
And then you calling her out. She'll be making more that way.
I hope so. That's why I'm in this right now, is I'm playing the long game here.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, we got a text from Kitty. I really like that name, by the way. She sounds like a James Bond character. She said, my parents have been married for over 30 years. When my dad pays, he gets thanked, even though my parents share money and my mom's been a teacher for decades. But it's not her wallet.
Damn right. You know what it's like?
Damn right.
No.
Okay, no. You want to know something? Want to know why I can't grab my wallet? Because I'm usually packing up the food and holding the baby.
Well, why don't you let him do that and you pull your wallet out?
Yeah, no, he's itching to hold the baby during dinner usually. He's jumping for the opportunity.
You do that and then pull your wallet out and go, bam.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of in The Sopranos when Finn pays for dinner?
Oh, yeah.
And then Tony goes out and threatens him and goes like, you eat, I pay. And he throws the money on the table like a couple grand. Because he was so agitated that he wanted credit for the meal.
That's our relationship when we go out to eat. I eat, you pay, Brian.
That's right. That's right. It's opposite, actually. Exactly. It's opposite. But I'm curious if other people experience this situation, because sometimes it is hard to know that people share money. You don't know, unless you know them well enough that they share the money. And whoever's pulling the wallet out, you're like, hey, thanks. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm sure that's happened to me where I've gotten thanked, but me and Megan share a card, but I usually grab the card. I usually pull my wallet.
If they just said thank you, I wouldn't be like, whoa, what about thank us? Like, I don't care. It's when Roman gets gushed upon, and I'm like, Roman, oh my God, I can't believe you're picking. I can't believe you alone are taking care of dinner. I'm just sitting here.
Singularly.
I'm like turning around like I wore my invisibility cloak. I'm like, what happened?
So Kenzie, just to be clear, I have a question for you. So in this scenario, they are seeing your husband put down his card and he is paying for dinner, right?
No, we're paying for dinner.
But
It's the
his
same
card
bank
goes
account.
out there.
Yeah, his card goes
He
out there.
grabs a card from his wallet.
Yeah.
Half the time, actually, he asks me to pull the credit card out of my wallet because he didn't bring his, and I have to hand it to him, and then he puts it down.
All right, that's different.
But if he holds the door open for somebody, are they supposed to thank you also? They see him doing an action. That's the reason he gets thanked.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Actually, it's pretty accurate.
No, it's not. If you get a gift, if somebody hands you a present and they didn't buy you the present, so if, okay, you're doing a family Christmas and the gift's from your mom and your brother hands it out, are you going to thank your brother?
Yeah, he handed me the gift. He's the one that did the thing.
But that's different.
Yikes.
Okay, there are two different things. The gift thing's different because it's not from the person. Opening the door, I get it that you actually did it.
But the money one's related to the gift example I gave. This is a person buying,
Correct,
even though
correct.
someone's handing something over.
But the thing is it extremely clear that you're sharing money? That's what has to be
Do
known.
I have to yell that?
You
Yes,
should.
you
You should
do.
start doing
This is
that.
about.
You should start doing that. I think that would clear this whole situation up.
Here's our shared routing number.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
All right, coming up, one of your last opportunities this morning to get to the Glass Animals VIP show in Nashville. We'll get you there, everything taken care of. So about 5 minutes away, we're going to play the Smashing Pumpkins. And now it's Gil Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. Today is National Relationship Equity Day. It's the one day a year Oprah lets Stedman decide where they eat. Fake Ozempic is flooding the market. I'd call it faux Zempic, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of one of Elon Musk's kids. A 71-year-old woman is competing to become Miss Texas. Her talent? Writing her name in cursive. Kevin Costner confirmed he will not return to Yellowstone. And per the rules of Hollywood, he'll be replaced by Ryan Seacrest. A sequel to St. Elmo's Fire is in the works, but only if the original cast is available. Kidding, they're all available. This is not headline news.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q 101.